Hey guys, and welcome back to another video in which I will be doing a team review for round 4 of the BBL SuperCoach season, in which my side ended up scoring 894, which was a top 7% for the round. A couple of people got away with, I guess, the Thunder washout didn't help, and they got away with, I guess, the Thunder boys not scoring terribly well outside of Daniel Sams in that opening game. So there's that. And so yeah, I ended up with a round rank of 35.76 and a season rank going up in the end. But before we get to that, remember to like and subscribe, turn the notification bell on so you know when I upload, and let's get into the video. So as you can see, 894, round rank of 35.76 and a season rank of 428, up by 151. And yeah, so team value is now 2,338,300. And now we go to classics here, and hopefully this doesn't show any of my trades. Nope, none of my trades are on there because I undid them. And now we go to, if we go to here, you can sort of see how it went. Obviously with Ben McDermott out with another, still resting from the concussion or whatever that he had in training, Philippi was going to play over him. So Philippi ended up with only a 21, going down a little bit, 5.1k. So he is potentially going to drop in price now a little bit, but he's still one of the best keepers to have, him and Inglis at the moment. If we look at the players and then we go to the filter by wicket keepers here, you can see, one second, wicket keepers, and then we go to averages. You got Cam Bancroft, Matthew Wade, and then Josh Philippi there. So Bancroft is now a keeper in the keepers bracket, so he now takes up the mantra as one of the best keepers. But you can still see Philippi averaging 41, which is pretty decent. And he could have easily done, well, he got out in the end, so he wouldn't have scored more in the chase last night. But it would have been nice to have seen him get to 20, but at least he got some points for green in the end. And then there was nothing much to talk about here, to be honest with you, with the keepers, as McDermott didn't play. On the batting side of it, I copped the match short 10, but pretty much everyone copped that. There will be some people now that instinctively put him on the bench for tonight's fixture, but there's sort of not really a way in which I can do that because of my trade-ins at the moment, and using Connolly as using one of my Perth players as a trade, as a guy that I'm going to use off the on the field to loop for captaincy reasons. So there's that. And then you've got obviously Sanger, and so then Will Sutherland 40 here, didn't get going with the bat, 11 off 5, and then he added 29 with the ball, and he might have taken 1 wicket with the ball. I think he took 1 wicket with the ball. And then Glenn Maxwell 150, absolutely huge, 3 for 29, as well as 35 off like 18 or something like that. 150 was absolutely huge. Some people that VC'd him got away with that as well because of Daniel Sams not getting a bowl and only costing them 22 points, which is basically what I cost myself in this round with my loops. And then Alex Hales 99, absolutely huge on field. I think he was the second leading scorer for the Thunder in their double outside of Daniel Sams. So yeah, I was happy to have the 3 leading Thunder scorers in their double, which was huge. And then Cooper Connolly was a sort of rotational piece, trying to flip him for the best score, and I just stuffed it up because I didn't think Jason Sanger would be dropped. With the Thunder saying that their batting wasn't strong enough, and again their batting basically collapsed, and it meant that they had to rebuild and couldn't lose another wicket, and that cost them 20-30 runs, which meant that they basically had to pray for the rain to come in at the end because they were never going to win in a 5-over contest. And then you had Sanger, so 21, and then Fraser McGurk left on the bench, and I think you just got to learn from this one that you got to use him as a emergency and just try and use that as much as possible. I just didn't do that in the end, where I should have probably done that when Sanger or something, but a lot of people were just saying take the double guy. Obviously Sanger was only a single, but he will be out anyway when we go to the team preview for round 5. But yeah, I just need to use Jake Fraser McGurk a little bit smarter, I reckon. Then you have Daniel Sams, 172. Yep, got the VC right this week, which was absolutely huge. 172, you take that any day of the week. Overton 89 is one of the most valuable assets right now in Supercoach, just due to his role batting 7, which is basically finishing off the innings for the strikers and then getting 4 overs with the ball. And he's looked like he's going to take a wicket and go for about 30 a game, which is right around the mark that you get around 35 points with the ball. And if he's getting 35 points with the ball and then adding potentially somewhere up to 50 points with the bat, as well as potentially somewhere upwards of 10 points in the field, that's where you get that crazy, ridiculous average. Paul Walter, a 5, but so be it. Sometimes you fail with the bat, and he had a really unlucky one where it came off the backside of the bat into his elbow or something like that, or arm, and then ballooned up to point. And then also he just did nothing with the ball as he got carded by Alex Hales in the Thunder's first of their double, and then dropped a catch on the boundary. So there is a worry about him with the there's rain around in Brisbane, so just worry about that at the moment. This is recorded on the 31st, so that game is on the 1st, so just worry about that a little bit. So that's why there is a potential for him just to be used up in the batter's slot here and to run an emergency loop through there when we get to that. Chris Green, yeah, he did well, 82. Did his job basically. Knew he was going to lose a little bit of cash, but could have easily gotten another wicket or 2 in the Sydney game, and that would have again boosted him up a lot. So that sucks that he didn't get his other 3 overs there, but at least it was better than Sanger, who got a 33 in the end, and he outscored Bancroft by another 29 points. So again, 29 points there, which is basically what I lost with going Sanger over Mir. Which would have been, if Mir hadn't bowled that last over and it got on a 51, I would have taken that. And that would have been another, like, if he hadn't bowled that last over and lost 9, that would have been a 30-point gain on what my position is at the moment, and that would have probably been another 100 or so points gained overall. But that sort of sucks in the end that I just went with the wrong guy. And then Tanveer Sanger 33, Mir 42 stuck on the bench, so I lost 21 points there, and a potential actually 37 if I played it perfectly there, alongside 94 points from Fraser McGurk, and I think that was maxed out. In the end, actually, if you think about it, Sanger would have scored more than Short, so I lost 105 points to Short being on field, and also 37, so I lost 142, I think it was, if I did my calculations correct, which would have put me at 1,030 odd points if I'd done my round correctly, and that would have put me, I'm gonna guess, probably in the top sort of one. I would have been around about Diabolical's rank of around about 100th or so, I believe, which would have been a pretty good rank going into the last 5 rounds of the year. It would have set me up pretty well. That would have put me within about 300 points of the lead, and the leaders packs I think they're not set up the greatest at the moment. There is a couple that have massive team values that can easily jump me, but yeah, so be it. And then Kane Richardson didn't play, so couldn't use him anyway. But he looks like he'll be back because Siddle bowled absolutely horrible. It was like 1 for 48, which even Kane Richardson bowling the way he was at that point, he was going like 1 for 30s, 1 for 40s off 4, rather than 1 for 48. So I think you got to bring Kane Richardson back for their next game, and I think they will do that, and I think he can easily gain some cash, as I believe he'll be one of my trade outs next week, depending on how it all goes. But if you look here, this is how it all went. My projected price changes were a little bit inside of the marker. They were a little bit light for the guys dropping in price, and a little bit heavy for the guys going up in price. So that was pretty poor by me. But anyway, and we look at this, and this sort of seems, I'm sticking with this at the moment, this plan here. And it will probably see me, I'm just thinking about this now, getting rid of Kane Richardson in the next round if he does. Well, no matter what he does, Kane Richardson and probably Will Sutherland are going to go, which will, alongside the likes of, we're looking here, a Sydney Thunder player, probably Alex Hales or Chris Green. And then also, you've got 2 Melbourne Stars would be, depending on who I grab, one Renegades, which is probably Kane Richardson, as well as one Sydney Thunder player. It's probably going to have to be Chris Green at that point, as I don't need him for round 7 when they've got all these guys, as when you actually think about it, there's only going to be one guy on the non-double, and that's probably going to be Matt Short, I would think. So I don't need Chris Green for this game either. It's either going to be Matt Short or also Glenn Maxwell, or potentially even Tom Curran if I do want to bring him back in, but I don't think I'll bring him back into here. So it's probably going to be Matt Short or Glenn Maxwell in for as a non-double player in that week. So that means that I don't actually need the likes of a Chris Green in that time. So Chris Green and Will Sutherland will probably be used to get my players in that week. So that is sort of what the thought is. Obviously, you can have it all planned out, etc. But sometimes you just got to look at the price ranges and who's going to be available, etc. And Chris Green at the moment is going to play just because he's got, just because I don't necessarily like any of the Melbourne Stars players, and he's only got a 64 break even, which he could actually hit anyway if he does bat 7, which he should be batting 7 if they want to go with the 6 bowlers. So he will be playing for me next week in the next round, which starts in 6 hours time. But anyway, that pretty much is the recap for round 4. A pretty decent length video, but not too long, as I went through it pretty quickly. And then so you got cash cows, trade targets, and my round 5 preview, in which I'll go through the round 5 team and how they sort of balance out, as well as what I sort of need them to hit for me to at least make cash, which doesn't really matter at this point. There's only a couple players that need to really make cash, just so that when I flip them, etc., I can do what I need to do. But I do what's looking is that I will have enough salary in the bank. I will have a decent amount to make some maneuvers and not be so tight on that. But anyway, that is the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.